Hello students, this video lecture is for class 6th, subject science, lesson 3rd and part 2nd. In the last video we have talked about the types of habitats which are aquatic, terrestrial and aerial, and in the next topic we are going to cover adaptation to environment in plants. How plants adapt themselves according to the environment or habitat. So let's start. Plants adapt themselves to the environment they live in. Now let's move to the next page. A large number of plants live in average or optimum water supply. These plants are known as mesophytes. Many plants have adapted to excessive water supplies. These are known as hydrophytes. Plants like cacti are adapted to grow in dry habitats. Such plants are called xerophytes. Some plants grow in mountainous region and adapt to the condition prevailing there. So plants have been categorized into three types according to the water availability. If the water availability is average, then the plants are known as mesophytes. If the water is too much or excessive, then the plants are known as hydrophytes. And if the water is very little or the soil is almost dry, then such plants are called as xerophytes. And few mountainous region plants are also there, which have adapted themselves according to the environment. Now let's see about the mesophytes, which are the plants that grow in the average water supply. So what are their adaptation? Mesophytes grow in moist habitat and well aerated soils. The following features indicate the adaptation in mesophytes. First, their root system is well developed. Leaves are generally large, broad, thin and variable in shapes. Stems are generally aerial and have many branches. Now let's see adaptation in hydrophytes. Generally, these plants do not face the problem of transpiration and have the following adaptation features. First, a root. Because of plenty of water, roots in such plants are of secondary importance. These are either poorly developed, as in hydrilla, or completely absent, as in ceratophyllum. B. Leaves. The leaves are thin, long and ribbon shaped, as in Vallisneria, or finely dissected, as in ceratophyllum. Floating leaves are large and flat, as in Nelumbo. Now next, stem. In most cases, the stem is long, cylinder, spongy, flexible. For example, hydrilla and potamogeton. Now, in hydrophytes, the roots is secondary importance because the main feature or property of the root is to go deep into the soil and fetch water from the underground water. But because the hydrophytes have plenty of water, they do not have scarcity of water, so roots are their secondary importance. Either they are absent in the plant or they are poorly developed. Now let's see adaptation in xerophytes. Xerophytes are adapted to grow in dry habitats and drought conditions. In these habitats, the rainfall is very brief. These plants adapt themselves to store water and avoid loss of water and dry conditions. As such, they have following adaptation features. First, they are annuals and complete their life cycle in very short period to avoid dry conditions. Many of these plants have spines instead of leaves to avoid water loss. C. Their stems, leaves, and roots are fleshy for accumulation of water during brief rains. D. Some plants shed their leaves under conditions of deficient rainfall. So these are the adaptation in xerophytes. Because water get lost through the leaves, so normally many plants in the areas where the rainfall is very less, for example in desert, the plants have spines instead of leaves to avoid water loss, and stem, leaves and roots are fleshy for storing water during the rainfall. And some plants also shed their leaves if there is no rainfall to avoid the transpiration or loss of water. Some of the examples are Caparis, Opuntia and Euphorbia. In the next video, we will be continuing from adaptation in mountainous region. Thank you.